the highs tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time.
Hello class, we're on lesson 7. It's the last lesson of this chapter, finally. And it's on writing fractions as decimals. I think you'll find this is pretty easy. 7/8, 7 out of 8, or 7 divided by 8. If you do 7 divided by 8, this will give you the decimal equivalent of 7/8. So I look and I say 8 will not go into 7. It's too big. 8 will go into 70. How many times? 8 times 8 is 64. Let's try that. I get 6, because I know 70 minus 64 is 6. If I didn't know, I'd just borrow. 10 minus 4 is 6. I'll drop down my 0. How many times will 8 go into 60? 8 times 8 is 64, so that's too much. So 8 times 7 is 56. And I know that's 4. I'll drop it down. 60 minus 56 is 4. How many times will 8 go into 40? 5 times. Keeping everything lined up. And that would be 40, and I'll get a 0. So I'm done. This is an example of a terminating decimal. Terminating decimals, look at this, end. That's what you need to remember about them. Terminating decimals end. Here's some examples. 25 hundredths, 75 hundredths, 875 thousandths. There's more. And they end, okay? If it's not a terminating decimal, it's a repeating decimal. And they do not end. Like this number right here, 0.88888. The 8 keeps repeating, so the way I need to write it correctly is with a line over the top of it to signify that the 8 repeats. So it's 0.8 and that 8 repeats. And I don't have to keep writing it over and over again. Look at this number, 2.87, 87, 87, 87, 87, and it would go on forever. 87, 87, forever if you didn't stop. So to write that correctly, I would keep the whole number, and then I just write down the 2 digits that repeat. Since this case has 2 digits that repeat, so I'd write 87, and that repeats. The line means repeating. Here's another one, 20.19393. Then the 93 keeps repeating, 93, 93, 93, 93. But as you'll see, I'll just write the 20, and I write the 0.1. I don't put the line over the 1, because it doesn't repeat. The only 2 numbers that repeat are the 9 and the 3. So that's where the line goes over, is the 9 and the 3. So just remember in repeating decimals that the line goes over the digits that repeat. Okay, let's do an example. 4/9. That's the same as saying 4 divided by 9. I like to just go ahead and I know it's going to be a decimal. And I put my couple digits, couple zeros there. Bring up the decimal. I know 9 doesn't go into 4, but 9 will go into 40. 4 times, 9 times 4 is 36. 40 minus 36 is 4, because if I borrow, you'll see that 10 minus 6 is 4. How many times will 9 go into 40? Oh, I think I did this once before. 4. I get 36, and I get a 4. If I add another 0, I get a 4. What's happening here? It's repeating. Get the pattern? See? I would have another 4 left over, and I would just drop another 0, and I would get 40 again. So, the way I'm going to write this is 0.4. With a line over the top of it, that means that 4 repeats. So that's the correct way to say 4/9 as a decimal. Let's do 7/11. That's 7 divided by 11. I'm just going to go ahead and put my decimal and a couple zeros. 11 will go into 70. Not 7 times, because that'd be 77. It must be 6. 70 minus 66 is 4. I'll drop down my 0. I know it'll go in there 3 times. Oh, I forgot to bring up my decimal. Okay, so that'd be 33. 40 minus 33 is 7. If I borrow, you can see that. 10 minus 3 is 7. I'll put another 0 down here because it hasn't ended yet. How many times will it go into 70/11? And we just said that before. 6 times, 66. And that means I'll get a 4. I'll add another 0. See what happens here. It's 40. Seems like I did that before. It goes in there 3 times. I get 33. Subtract, I get 7. If I do it again, I get 6. Something's happening here. Do you notice a pattern? What's repeating? Just the 6 and the 3. So I will write this as 0.63 with a line over the top. It means that the 6 and the 3 keep repeating forever.